Alright everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'm looking to do a mount for my GoPro. Originally, I did a side mount here, which had a bunch of links that would move it to the front so it was centered. But the links eventually crack. It's just too many pieces. I wanted to do something a little cleaner with just the mount directly to the GoPro itself, right here, front and center on the helmet. So issue I was having is the front of this helmet is curved. So there's really no way to put even the curved version of the GoPro mount. The flat one or the curved don't fit. So I was watching some YouTube videos, looking for some inspiration. Some videos have been made. They've been on YouTube for many years now. Street Rod AZ and Canadian Moto Girl both did a version. I believe Street Rod AZ had got his idea from Canadian Moto Girl. So I watched both videos. Seems to be fairly simple. Figured I'd give it a shot. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So I want to go ahead and walk you guys through it in case this is something you're looking to do. This is a curved mount here. I'm going to be removing this. So again, this is the 3M tape that came with this. I believe I bought this on eBay, like a pack of them. I mean, it came with tons of different mounts, the adhesive for it. All of this stuff was fairly cheap. I think I got this for probably like 15 bucks or something like that. So let's see how hard this stuff is to get off, because this is on pretty damn hard. Yeah, that's on really tight. So I'm going to try to do this without damaging my helmet. I think once I get it started, it'll start to come off. It's coming off, but slowly. Wow, that's on really tight. So this has been on my helmet for a few years now. So what I'm doing is trying to get under it and pry up. I don't want to pry down and put this tool on my helmet and damage it. So wow, this is on really tight. I never would have thought this would stick this well. So let me just try pushing in the adhesive, which seems to be working easier than trying to pull it off. Okay, it's coming off now, slowly. Let me just try to get a little bit more. And again, I'm just pushing this adhesive in and pulling up slightly. It's taking some of the contact point off, which is making it a little easier to detach. Oh, wow. Alright, that came off very well. Didn't damage the helmet at all. No paint came off. No adhesive is on here. Actually, there's very, very little adhesive. We'll go ahead and put some goof off on there and get that off real quick. So I'm using some goof off adhesive to remove this. Really won't take much because there's barely anything on here. Usually you put this on, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then wipe it off. Kind of using my nail on the other side of this rag and just kind of sliding it. Feels like it's all off already. Beautiful. All right, that's off. Okay, so next, I'm gonna put some tape. This is just a painter's tape, 3M blue painter's tape. You can find this in the paint department. I'm gonna try to put this on smoothly in the center at least, because when you do the mold, you don't want to have too many wrinkles there. Might actually tear this right where the line is, just to keep it straight. Yeah, that worked out perfect. So same thing on this side. Trying to keep it as straight as possible, so I'm going to tear it right where, kind of where that line is. Alright, so now you can see the line where I tore it, but you could barely feel it. And that's kind of what I want, so when I do the mold, I don't have to worry about the mold coming out with any I want it to be smooth. Okay, I'm gonna put some more on the bottom. I'm gonna be running this as low as possible to avoid any clearance issues with the air vent here. So this vent has to come down. As you can see, it goes slightly below this tape. So I'm gonna try to keep this down, the bracket. So the new bracket's gonna sit kind of like this. But if I go any higher than that, it's gonna interfere with the clearance to the mount, to the air vent. So you want to put this on here just to make sure you're not getting any of this adhesive that you're using on the helmet directly. Alright, so I am doing this a little wider than I need to. Literally, I'm going to be using about this much space, but won't hurt to do a little extra. Alright, so next, I'm going to go ahead and pull out a curved. So I don't know if you can see that. It's slightly curved. Maybe that's a little better. So it has a slight curve here. We're going to use that version. Here's the 3M VHB, it says. It's going to be perfect. It's going to leave just a hair, pretty much the same amount on the bottom. That teeny little bit of clearance is on the bottom will match. Let me see if I can bring you in a little more so you can see this a little better. So there's literally just a little bit here. The top's going to have roughly the same amount, just a little bit, which is perfect. That's all I need. Alright, so I'll be using some water weld. Picked this up at Home Depot. I believe it was about $7.50. I picked up some paint. I am doing custom paint on my bike. I'm not sure that this is going to be exact or anywhere close to exact, but it should be fairly close. So, you know, again, I'm not worried about this matching exactly. I don't have any red on this helmet, and my bike is going to be red. This is a Shoei RF 1200. So I just wanted to add a little bit of red. All right, also you're gonna need some sandpaper. This is just some drywall sandpaper. Just gonna wanna rough these edges up a little bit. I don't know if this is really gonna work. I might have to grab something else. Yeah, it's working. Really, you just wanna rough the surface a little bit to help the paint and this JB weld to adhere to this piece. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's no longer shiny gloss black. So it's slightly scraped up just a little bit here. And I am going to clean this with some alcohol. I'm kind of just doing this on the fly, so pardon me if anything seems to be if I'm out of step here. Again, this is my first time doing this. I saw what the process was. It's fairly simple. So we're just gonna kind of freestyle this here. All right, so that's good. Let's get this JB weld open. This is a reusable container. Well, maybe not. Now that I broke it, I'll put it in a Ziploc. That cracked really easy. Case just broke when I popped it open. Not a big deal. I'll just put it in a Ziploc. But this stuff you want to use gloves for. Doing it in your hands, it will leave the residue all over your hands. I choose to not have that on my hands if I have a bunch of gloves in my toolbox. So first what we have to do try to get you guys zoomed in a little. Okay. So we're going to take a portion of this. So really you don't need a lot. I am going to use about this much, so pretty much like a third. So when you do this, you will notice that it's gray on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. It's gray on the inside, white on the out. So once you mix this, that's what causes the reaction for it to start to bond. So you don't have a lot of time to do this. So once you start mixing this, you're going to want to be ready to just apply it. All right, so here we go. It would help if these gloves weren't slightly big on me. So you just want to keep mixing this. Color should change slightly. I believe it said 20 minutes. This starts to cure. Well, it starts to set, and then an hour it cures completely. All right, so from here, I'm gonna take this bracket. You really only need the size of the bracket. You don't need it you don't need it coming out anymore. I'm gonna slightly put a little bit more on the top because that's where most of the spacing is needed for the mold of this helmet. You will get a little bit in here, as you can see. I'm gonna try to push that back in. You can sand this later to remove this. So not really a big deal now. You don't want to waste too much time because again, this will start to set really fast. So once we get this like that, I'm going to remove one of these gloves. You want to make sure you're center. Then you're going to apply pressure. I'm going to close my vent because it's a little closer than I like. So you want to push evenly, top and bottom. You want to make sure that you're getting this mold. You also don't want it too high up. You want to be able to get the curve of the helmet nothing more. I should have taken the bottom of this a little better. I didn't get this trim here, but I'm gonna go ahead and move it now before it sets and sticks to my helmet. And again, this doesn't have to look perfect. All this excess you can remove later. I'm going to be using a Dremel to make it look a little nicer. So right now it's just getting everything where I would like it to be. All right, so all this excess is coming off. It's better to have a little extra than not enough. So don't be shy with this JB Weld. You can always just take it off. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Remove this excess. Will not be needed. Then I'll just push this here to the edge. For those of you who are wondering, I can smell this JB Weld a little bit. It doesn't smell horrible. It doesn't smell extremely strong either. But it does have an odor. It's not something that you need to be in a ventilated room, in my opinion. Others might feel differently, but I don't think it's anywhere near that strong. Okay, I think that's cleaned up enough. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some of this out just to make it a little easier. I don't want that getting hard and I have a hard time cleaning it later. I can already feel that it's drying up. It's definitely a little more sticky than it was before. So be careful as you do this and you're moving it around. It hasn't set yet. So last thing you want to do is move it too much and everything's off later. I'm going to touch the rest of this when it sets. I don't want to do too much. Okay, I think that's about it. I'll show you here in a second. I'm going to clean this a little bit, so I'm just going to put a little alcohol on this rag. I just want to make sure that I haven't touched the wrong areas. I don't want this to stick to anywhere on my helmet that it shouldn't. So I'm being very careful not to touch this while I'm cleaning it because this is alcohol, so alright. Make sure my fingers, stuff gets everywhere, man. It's like a science project. Back in the days. Alright, so this is what it's looking like. Bring you in a little bit here. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is temporary. You're going to take it off and then you can sand it down to get the perfect fit. So I'm going to leave this for about an hour. I'm going to let it cure, let it fully cure, and then we'll be back to sand it and paint. See y'all in a little bit. Alright, so I let this cure for 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. This is what we're looking like right now. And again, it's not nothing nice yet, but we're going to go ahead and use the Dremel and tighten it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and get one of these bits on here. I'm not sure which one is going to do the job the best, but I'm pretty sure this sandpaper bit right here will do just fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove this. So it's on tight, just gotta pull it a little bit. It's already breaking loose. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Trying to remove it best I can without leaving any tape on here, not that it really matters. All right. So you can see this dip. I mean, there's no way you could have fit that with a flat. Oh, it's perfect. I mean, it just falls right in. Look at that. All right, so we're gonna hit it with the Dremel. Let's go ahead and fine tune this a little bit. I'm gonna move my helmet out the way. Don't want to get dust all over it. I'm not going to do all of this on camera. I'm just going to do this side just so you can see where I'm going to leave it at. Stuff flying everywhere. So just to give you an idea. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Get all these edges. And then I'll check back in with you guys. Alright, here's the finished product. So everything's sanded. I have not touched this. I want to make sure it fits exactly the way that I installed it, basically the way that I molded it. So all my edges, everything's exactly how it was on the helmet. Let's see how it looks. Fits perfect. Look, I push it up and down. I mean, it's sliding a little because it's slippery, but it's I mean, look at that. It's perfect fit. Literally fits perfect. I love it. Alright, so next is going to be paint. I'm going to clean it up. Gonna go ahead and clean this, get all this stuff off. I will say I did 2 hours. It is dry, but there are parts of it that I feel are still faintly soft. So for all of y'all out there doing this, I would probably give it at least 3 hours, to be honest with you. Everything still worked smoothly. I didn't have any issues, but it's just something to think about when you do it. I've heard some people doing it for 24 hours, which is perfectly fine too, but I only did a couple hours. I think it could use a little more. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. I will also be painting this. Now, originally I wanted to paint this whole thing red. I did spray one of these pieces with the red that I chose, and it is nothing like the red that I'm looking for. I'm doing a custom kind of candy paint, so it just looks way off. What I will be doing, I'm gonna clean this up, and when I'm done, I'm gonna tape it off, just all the black parts for the actual bracket. This piece here that was molded, I'm gonna spray paint that red, just to give it a little hint of red, but not to overdo it. If I don't like it, then I'm gonna paint it black. So it'll literally just be this edging that you'll see here. That'll be red. You know, we'll give it a try, see what happens. I'll be back with y'all in a little bit. Alright, just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I'm gonna let this dry for a while, of course. The red was too bright for me, so I went ahead and hit it with some black, but I just did it kind of in a wave. So it's just like splotches almost. We'll see how it dries, what it looks like. But the red was too much. I had to add some black in there to kind of dark it out a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think I like it. I think I'll leave it the way it is. I'll let you guys see the finished product, and then we'll go ahead and put the 3M tape on there and then apply it to the helmet. And it's a wrap. Alright, here we are the next day. I let this cure and I did a little paint. So originally the paint looked like this, which is way too red, too light for my liking. I believe this is, forget the name of it. It's not cherry, but it's just too bright. I'm looking for more of like a murder red color. So I went ahead and grabbed some black, painted on top, which darkened the color. So this is more of the final product. So you can see the mold as hard as can be. So now the next step is to put it onto the helmet. So let me show you what it looks like on the helmet. So again, I left a little bit of spacing here and a little bit of spacing here on the top. This thing is solid. I mean, I can move it around. This thing goes nowhere. When I push my vent down, it kind of touches, but yeah, it touches slightly. But I'm right at that point where it's like barely touching. So yeah, I mean, it stops right at the top where it doesn't even like bang into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that the way it is. I like it. Now it's just to add the 3M adhesive. So for this step, I'm gonna just remove this. I'm gonna apply this. Make sure this is all aligned properly. So again, you can see that curve, which none of these brackets have. So Just going to keep applying pressure here. Just want to make sure that it sticks really well. I think it is going to stick pretty good. I'm also going to cut this. It sticks out a little more than I like. It's flush here, but on this side it's sticking out, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that, shave it down a little bit, and then I'll put it on the helmet. And that's it. I'll be back in a second to show you what it looks like while it's on the helmet. Alright, so everything's done. There it is. It's nice and flush. Still have a little gap there so the vent doesn't hit. Same thing on this side. Let's see if this will focus. There we go. Nice and clean, guys. Super easy. It takes a little bit of time, but I mean, look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and put a clamp on here just to apply pressure. I'll probably leave that for, you know, a few hours, maybe 12 hours or something like that. I don't know. Just to make sure that this sticks good. It seems like it's on pretty well. Yeah, it's not moving. So I'm gonna put that on there and just give it time to, you know, fully stick. And that's it, guys. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Very cheap, inexpensive. Again, I had these brackets already, but you can get a whole pack of these things very cheap. I mean, everything else as far as materials cost me with the spray paint and you know, with this bond, I spent $7.50 for each. So, I mean, we're talking about 15 bucks, not including brackets. But the brackets come with the 3M adhesive. So, there you have it. I'll be doing another video soon. Stay tuned. I have a new liner coming in. I went ahead to change my liner inside my helmet, my center pad. I'm going to be putting my cheek pads, everything back in. But before we do that install, I'm going to be doing an install on a Cardo Pro Talk, Pack Talk Pro. I'm sorry, a Cardo Pack Talk Pro. I went ahead and ordered a new system. The one that I had on here, one of the speakers went bad, and it's an older system. It has silicone over the button. Over the 3 buttons on top. It was a G4 Cardo system, very old. I went ahead and pulled it off, threw it away, ordered me a new Cardo Pack Talk Pro. So we're gonna go ahead and do an install on that. If you're interested in seeing how that's done, stay tuned. See you guys later with some more videos. Thanks for watching.